There are a few different ways that you can blend coloured pencils, but the most common ways are by using a solvent or the burnishing technique. They are two very different techniques, but they can both offer you blending results that are going to give you the desired look that you want in your drawings. In this video, we're going to take a side-by-side look at both of these techniques, run through some of their pros and cons, their differences, and see how they compare to each other. So what is a solvent? A coloured pencil solvent is a liquid such as a mineral spirit that breaks down the binder in oil and wax-based pencils. When the solvent breaks down the binder in a pencil, it allows you to create a smooth, seamless finish to your drawings and fills in the white grain of the paper. This can also help you to achieve very painterly looks in your drawings. There's many different types of solvent, from mineral spirits, paint thinners and Gamsol, but the solvent that I'm using in this video is the Zest-It pencil blend, as it is specifically made for coloured pencils. So let's take a look at some of the pros of using a solvent. Firstly, I think we can all agree that working with coloured pencils is a very time-consuming process because you're literally drawing with the tip of a pencil. And so by using a solvent in your drawings, this helps to speed up the process massively. This is especially good if you're drawing really large-scale drawings or drawings with a lot of detail in them. A solvent can eliminate a lot of the layering and blending process, so instead of spending hours carefully building up layers and then blending everything out using the burnishing technique afterwards, a solvent can do this process within minutes. A solvent is really good if you draw animals, for example, because animal drawings contain a lot of textures and details in them, and so by using a solvent you can really eliminate a lot of the layering and blending process. This will really help to break this process down and speed things up. If you're using a solvent, then you actually need to use less of your pencils, meaning that they will last longer. Plus, a solvent will save you from having to apply lots of pressure onto the paper, which not only helps with your pencils, but it can also help with your hand as well, which can get really sore and numb after you've been applying tons of pressure with the burnishing technique. A solvent also makes it much easier to get rid of the white grain of the paper, as it will fill this in and it can create a very saturated look. It gives your drawings a very smooth, soft and painterly look, and this can look really nice if you're trying to mimic painting techniques or are creating things like blurred backgrounds or soft techniques. You can also apply several layers of solvent and then keep adding your coloured pencils over the top. It's also a lot easier to go in and add your highlights and details over the top of a solvent than it is with the burnishing technique. And one thing that is really good with solvents and wax-based pencils is that solvents can actually eliminate wax bloom that you get when you burnish. Wax bloom is where you get a cloudy film on the top of your drawings when the wax binder oxidizes over time. But because you've broken down the wax binder with the solvent, this keeps wax bloom to a minimum. Lastly, solvents can be used with both wax and oil-based coloured pencils, although they are particularly good with oil-based coloured pencils such as the Faber-Castell Polychromos. Oil-based pencils have a harder lead than wax pencils, and so the standard layering and burnishing technique could take you ages to complete with oil pencils, whereas a solvent will make this much easier for you. Now let's take a look at some of the biggest cons with using a solvent. One thing that really sticks out to me is that solvents are a much more advanced coloured pencil technique, and so you need to have more of an understanding on how to use them, the care of them, and how to use them safely as well. It's really important to practice with them first and really get the hang of using them before you apply them to a drawing, and this can be quite difficult for beginners. I would always recommend testing out solvents first by using test bits of paper and getting the hang of using them, because they can be very unforgiving and can ruin your artwork if you aren't careful. Also, you can get lots of different effects with different types of paper, so it's really important to test different types of paper with the solvent as well, so you understand what sort of effects you're going to get. You also need to use other materials alongside solvents as well, for example paintbrushes and suitable paper. Rounded paintbrushes are best, and you need to use paper that is suitable for wet mediums, such as a watercolour paper. It's also really important to make sure that your paper is thick enough to absorb the solvent, and so as a minimum I would make sure that the paper was at least £140 or 300 GSM. And to make things a little bit easier for you, I have listed some of my recommendations for paper on the screen now and also in the description below. There are also many different types of solvent that are suitable for coloured pencils, including paint thinner, Gamsol or mineral spirits. But I definitely wouldn't recommend using baby oil because it isn't suitable with coloured pencils. Using solvents also carries some risks. So, for example, most solvents will have a very strong odour, which some people may be quite sensitive to. And you also need to take safety precautions when using them because they do contain chemicals. When you're using solvents, you need to make sure that you are working in a ventilated room. And so if you're working indoors, it's very important to open a window or open a door so that you can have some fresh air. Solvents are quite tricky to use and they're also very technical as well. So you really need to get the hang of how to use the right solvent to pencil ratio. So for example, it's really important to make sure that you have enough pigment on your paper, otherwise there won't be enough pigment to blend, and you'll end up with a lot of stains and smears on the paper. You also don't want to apply too much solvent because what this will do is it will really muddy colours and you'll start losing a lot of details in your drawings. You also don't want to add too many details or textures to your drawings as well, because what will happen is when you blend out with a solvent, you're going to lose a lot of texture. Also, if you apply too much solvent to the paper, you can end up with greasy smears on your paper and areas that bleed out, as well as damage to the paper itself. But on the flip side, if you use too little solvent, your paintbrush will be really dry and hard to blend. This is why it's essential to practice with solvents first so that you can really get the hang of using them. Solvents can also be really unforgiving and hard to erase, and so it's really important that you work from light to dark and also work in layers. If you blend dark areas into light areas, you will lose a lot of the light tones and contrast in your drawings. And if you don't work in layers, your drawing will look very flat and will lose depth. So when you're using a solvent, what you want to do is make sure that you work in layers. So you build up your layers, you blend each layer individually, and you also blend in small sections as well. And always remember to blend from light to dark. When you start blending pigments out with the solvent, they can look different when you put them down on paper, and this is because of the way that the solvent interacts with the binder. So you just need to bear in mind that your colours can look more saturated when you blend them with a solvent compared to when you laid them down on the paper. You also need to make sure that you're cleaning your paintbrush in between layers of pigment as well, so that you don't start getting the colours really muddied. The easiest way to clean solvents is by literally dabbing them into the solvent and then using a kitchen towel to wipe off any excess, and you want to keep doing that until it runs clear. Solvents can also take time to dry, and it's really important to make sure that you're waiting for each layer to dry before you go in and add more coloured pencils. And if you're wanting to use multiple layers of solvent, then it's really important that for each layer after your first layer, you only use a very small amount. And a top tip that I have for controlling the amount of solvent on the paper is by always dabbing off any excess solvent onto kitchen roll. So those were some of the main pros and cons of using a solvent, so let's move on to the burnishing technique. Burnishing is a coloured pencil technique where you apply heavy pressure with a coloured pencil or a colourless blender to blend colours and flatten the tooth of the paper to create a saturated, smooth and seamless finish. And you can actually burnish using any coloured pencil, a white coloured pencil or a colourless blender. So the biggest pro for me when using the burnishing technique is that it's far less technical than using a solvent. As I said earlier on in the video, you need to have a greater understanding of care and safety with solvents, and they can take more time to really get the hang of. You really do need to practice with solvents, and they can also be very unforgiving as well. The burnishing technique is also more controlled and less messy than using a solvent, and it's also much easier to go in in and erase mistakes. By carefully building up your layers and then burnishing at the end of the drawing, you'll be able to create a lot of depth and contrast in your drawings, which is especially important if you're creating drawings with a lot of tone, textures or details. Sometimes with a solvent, you can lose some of these textures if you overblend. You also don't need to worry about extra materials like you do with a solvent, for example, using a paintbrush or certain types of paper. The burnishing technique works on most types of paper and you just need your coloured pencils to blend. So any add-ons like a colourless blender really are optional. Burnishing is also good for creating block colours. So for example, if you're drawing cartoons or objects, and this is because it fills in the tooth of the paper, creates vibrancy and doesn't bleed or soften out like a solvent does. The burnishing technique is also better if you're creating portraits because it will give that realistic look rather than blending everything out and making textures look too smooth. It's also easier to preserve the white grain of the paper with the burnishing technique, and this is important because you want those light tones and white highlights to be able to show through. Whereas sometimes with a solvent, these areas can become very muddied. Another great way that you can add in details and textures with the burnishing technique is by using an X-Acto knife. So once you've burnished and blended everything out, you can go in at the end with the X-Acto knife to scratch away layers of coloured pencils. And this can not only create details, but it also shows some lighter tones through the drawing as well. You can also use an embossing tool to preserve the white grain of the paper before you go in and layer and blend all of your colours. So with the embossing tool, you can gently score the paper before you draw, and this will flatten the tooth of the paper. So when you go over these areas with coloured pencils, they will stay white. So this can be a really good technique to use if you're drawing animals and are creating fur textures. You can't use an embossing tool with a solvent because the solvent will just fill in the score lines. Solvents can also alter the appearance of colours, so when you first apply your colours with your pencils, they can look very different after using a solvent. Whereas this doesn't happen when you use the burnishing technique, so your drawings will look more true to life, especially if you are using reference photos. So those are some of the main pros of the burnishing technique, so let's take a look at some of the cons. So one of the biggest cons is the amount of time that it will take you to layer and burnish all of your colours. You're working with a really small pencil tip, and so it can be a very time-consuming process. So if you're working on, say, animal drawings or large-scale drawings that requires a lot of textures and details, you could be working on that drawing for a really, really long time if you're using the layering and burnishing technique. You really need to make sure that you're setting a lot of time aside for this technique because you'll need to take a lot of breaks and give your hand a rest as well. So sometimes a drawing might actually take you several hours or even several days to complete. Burnishing also requires a heavy pressure, and if you overdo it with applying pressure, this can not only hurt your hand, but could potentially damage the paper if you aren't careful. And it also creates a lot of wear and tear on your pencils, so your pencils can become very worn down, require frequent sharpening, and may need to be replaced more often compared to if you're using a solvent. If you're using a wax-based pencil, which is a softer core, especially Prismacolors, then they can be more prone to breaking when you apply the burnishing technique as well. This is because they are more fragile pencils and Prismacolor does have some issues with build quality. And as I said a bit earlier on, oil pencils are more durable, but the problem with them is you'll be spending even longer layering and burnishing because of the type of texture that they have. The best way to burnish is by using a moderate amount of pressure, also changing your hand position to help you vary the pressure on the paper, and by using circular motions as well, which will eliminate any stubborn lines. If you're using wax-based pencils, then they are prone to creating wax bloom if you are using the burnishing technique. Wax bloom is a cloudy film that forms on the surface of a drawing created with wax pencils because the wax binder can oxidize over time. Also, once you've burnished, it's really hard to go in and add any more layers over the top, and that is because you've flattened the tooth of the paper to the point where it won't hold any more layers. So you need to make sure that you're happy with how much contrast, depth and tone that you've built up in your drawings before you burnish, because it's really hard to make any changes to the drawing once you've blended it all out. So in other words, the burnishing technique is done right at the very end of a drawing. So those were the main pros and cons of using a solvent compared to burnishing, and I really do hope that you found this video helpful. The main thing to remember is that no matter what technique you're using, both can be used to create stunning drawings, and also don't forget that you can also use both techniques in combination with each other as well. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and leave a like as well, because it really does help me out, and also it means that you'll never miss an update from me. Keep creating, everyone, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!